You're not disabled. You're not in a wheelchair. I'm one of those people who is unlucky enough to have numerous disabilities, but they are all invisible. Sigh. So one day a couple of years back, I'm at the hospital, ironically for my yearly appointment with the rheumatologist, when one of my ailments, IBS, decides to remind me that it is in charge of my guts. So I find myself with about 30 seconds to find a toilet before my bowels will spontaneously void themselves in an extremely painful and smelly way, all the time while having the feeling of being kicked in the guts by someone wearing steel-toe boots. Oh, did I also mention that I can't do the walking quickly or running things, because my hip bones like to grind directly against my pelvis. Luckily, there was a disabled toilet within hobbling distance, so I goes in, locks the door, drops my trousers and just managed to use the railing next to the pot to ease myself down before the brown waterfall started. I'm Saturday there for about 5 minutes as my asshole painfully ejects high-pressure, foul-smelling sludge and probably half a pint of blood, when I become aware of someone pounding on the door and muffled shouting. It takes about 10 minutes for my intestines and bowels to finish the spasms to the point where I feel safe to stand up and begin the horrid process of cleaning myself up, which I quickly manage and flush the ordure away, before pulling my trousers up and washing my hands. All this time the banging on the door and muffled shouting had continued, but hey, it takes as long as it takes and it's first come first served for the crappies asshole, so I deliberately tarry a little while I hear the dickhead outside rage impotently. When I finally decided to open the door and come out, I am greeted by a middle-aged looking woman, who decides to get straight in my face while screeching, "This toilet is for disabled people only. How dare you use it?" I calmly explained that I was disabled and therefore entitled to use it, and make moves to shuffle around her and continue on to my appointment. But oh no, this wasn't enough for the sour-faced bitch. EW, entitled woman, you're not fucking disabled, you're just lazy. You couldn't be bothered to walk to the men's down there, gestures wildly in the direction of an area where I know there aren't any toilets. Me, fuck off you sour-faced bitch, if you want to use it, it's free now. EW, couldn't you have just gone to the men's? She repeats this about 3 or 4 times whilst blocking my way as I painfully try to step around her. Me, no, I couldn't, and I don't have to explain myself to you. Now get the fuck out of my way or I will knock you out of the way. EW, it's illegal for people who aren't disabled to use these toilets, and you aren't disabled because you don't have a wheelchair. She actually pointed to the toilet sign, which has the usual stick man drawing of someone in a wheelchair on it. I'm going to report you to the police. Give me your name. Me, are you for real? She begins screeching some unintelligible stuff and continues to keep blocking me as I try to leave. The noise attracts a member of the hospital's staff, one of the porters I think. Porter, is something wrong? Can I help? She screeches at him that she saw me go into a disabled toilet and because I spent so long in there I must be a druggie and she has performed a citizen's arrest on me. The porter gets that WTF look on his face and asks me if this is true. I explain the situation to him and what my ailments are, etc., etc., and how this woman has been harassing me for the past 10 minutes or so. Even before I came out of the toilet, I show him my appointment letter and explain that if I don't get a move on I'm going to be late for it. All while I'm talking to him, she continues to screech and waves her hand in my face. By now she has her mobile in her hand and begins dialing 999. The porter steps in between us and tells me to go on my way, this time blocking her as she tries to move in front of me. She continues shouting as I hobble away, despite the porter telling her to calm down, etc. About an hour later, as I come back into the same area, I see the porter again and thank him for stepping in. Turns out that he had to get security to come and remove her, and she was already known to them as she had been thrown out before for causing trouble. She never even wanted to use the toilet, but was one of those people who liked to hang around places hoping to get in some sort of altercation or accident so she could claim compensation. I really do despair.